I was surrounded by females at my house. Surrounded was very easy. There were two of them, my daughter and my wife. My son wasn't living at home then, he'd already left. And Erica once said to me, when we had somebody trip and fall in a show that we were doing, and there was the girl, I think it was the Hardy Boys, and she said, why do the girls always have to slip and fall and the guys never do? I said, well, let's do one where the guys slip and fall and the girls never do. I had tried one time to do a series of animated feature films that would be sequels to all the famous fairy tales. We did a Snow White special, a Christmas special for CBS, and again, my daughter, in fact, I think she did the voice of Snow White in the thing, had really wanted to do something like that, and it worked out very well. I mean, it was Snow White's daughter who was the hero in that one, the heroine in that one, and she did not stumble, she did not fall. And when we were able to, we financed within the company itself what was going to be a series of 25 sequels to the famous fairy tales. We did another version of Snow White, which was a sequel to the original Snow White. It was done theatrically. It did very well. The company did not last much longer than that. And we didn't end up doing the 25 specials, but it really, and the Snow White, and we did Pinocchio too, but the Snow White, we had 7 Dwarfelles instead of the dwarves.
Do your worst. As you can see, your magic cast no spell on me.
I didn't want to use the dwarfs again. I mean, they had been done, and they'd been done beautifully, but their cousins hadn't been done, and they had 7 little cousins who were little ladies. So we had 7 Dwarfelles. We had a wonderful time doing it.
We did a feature film that was originally called Snow White and the Dwarfelles, later changed to Happily Ever After. It was actually an idea of Lou Scheimer's to do the Snow White story, a sequel to the Snow White story, what happened to her afterwards, and this time use 7 female dwarfs instead of male dwarfs, which I thought was just a brilliant idea. And I give Lou all the credit for it. I was asked to write the script. I really wanted to have somebody to write it with because I think writing a feature script by yourself is a challenge. So I chose Martha Moran, who is somebody that I'd known socially and had written live action scripts, spec scripts, and I thought she was just a great writer but had never written animation before. So I really took a chance on her and I sold the idea to Lou, and he was willing to go with my judgment. And Martha and I wrote the script together. I started the story on my own, and Martha came in midstream. And we piggybacked scenes. I would be writing one scene, she'd be writing the next scene ahead, I'd be writing the next scene after, and it would sort of leapfrog, and we would exchange, whenever one of us would finish a scene, we'd exchange them and review them and correct them, and it was a great system to work with. Martha was a fabulous writer, and we got along famously, and was quite pleased with the way the script turned out. The other thing that happened in the writing of the Snow White script is naturally Martha gravitated towards some of the characters and I gravitated towards the others. I tend to gravitate towards comedy characters. So a lot of the comedy in that script was really more my doing, and a lot of the sort of action and jeopardy Martha seemed to have a sort of a stronger feel for. So we seemed to sort of specialize in certain areas of the script, although we both worked on it together.
It's no use. I just can't get it right. Come on! Come on!
Snow White was cast with a lot of well-known voice actors at the time. And the interesting thing about celebrities as voices is some of them are great celebrities but don't do so well doing animation voices. One who struck me in particular that was just fabulous, so we had no idea he was going to be as good as he was Malcom Mcdowell, who played the villain. And he just brought that character to life. When he came into the studio, I was in all the recording sessions, and by the way, it was really exciting to meet a lot of these big stars because it was still fairly young in my career, and I wasn't cynical like I am today. On Snow White, Lou had, I thought, a really interesting and sort of radical idea, which was to cast Irene Cara as Snow White, who was kind of big from Flashdance at the time, but not really what you would visualize when you think of Snow White. In fact, she was the antithesis of what you would visualize. And I couldn't help in my mind but question this idea. And I have to tell you, when she came in and recorded, she was brilliant. I don't know how Lou got this idea or what inspired him, but he was right smack on the money, and I thought she was fabulous. The Snow White movie was the first thing that I had worked on at Filmation, and in my career for that matter, that was a theatrical feature. And one of the great things about it, it was a big boost for my career, but one of the absolutely fabulous things was being able to pay money and go into a theater where other people had paid money and to sit with an audience and watch them react to your words and your story and your jokes. Because one of the drawbacks of working in television is you never get to experience the audience reacting to what you write. So as a writer, it was absolutely fabulously satisfying to know that this was in the theaters and to be able to go to the theaters and see what worked and what didn't. And fortunately, most of the things seemed to work pretty well.
Where are we?
Mother Nature's garden.
It's so exciting to know that the things that not only I, but so many of us worked on all these years ago is finally sort of being unearthed and coming to light and being released in a quality way on DVD and with all these extras. It was a fabulous time in my life and so many people. Filmation was a very, very special place, and you know, there's frequently lip service paid to the idea of a workplace being a family, but Filmation, of all the places I've worked, really was a family. It was a magical place to work. The shows that we did, the Zorros, the Black Stars, the Hero Highs, the Snow White movie, He-Man, Ghostbusters, I mean, all of the things that I worked on, they were really labors of love for the people that did them. And it's genuinely thrilling and gratifying to know that they still exist, they're coming out, people are going to see them again, and they'll be preserved for posterity.